All right, good evening. Tonight is January 9th, 2024. Happy New Year, everyone. I now am going to call the meeting to order, and can we please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just me.
You made it. You're right on time.
Oh, boss, saying you're on time, you're late, all that whole business. So. I'll take what I can get.
All right. Any additions or anything that we would like to add to tonight's agenda? Is there any topics or discussions we need to go over? If not, I'll be looking for a motion.
I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. All right, consider approval of the minutes from last month's meeting. Pretty short, pretty simple.
Yep.
Everybody, I assume, got their prizes and we're happy.
Yep.
Cool.
We picked them up.
Good. So with that, if nobody has any corrections or anything, I'll be looking for a motion to approve last month's agenda.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, on to business. Number
You gotta announce it.
Oh, I do have to announce it. Okay, discussion on participation in Mayor Rising Community Festival.
So our plan for this year is to get ahead of our events that we're participating in rather than wait till the last 3 months or so to make sure we're well ahead. So in that spirit, the two we've got slated for the January meeting is the first one here, participation in the Mayor Rising Community Festival. What, if anything, would we like to do for this upcoming year? Last go around, we had the booth for the splash pad. My hope is that for the second meeting in January, I've got paperwork from the state and we'll be executing that along with the contract.
Awesome.
And
Fantastic.
it'll be a go.
Good deal.
So since we won't have a splash pad booth to do much with, what would we like to do?
Well, we might have a splash pad, right?
Right? We might have a splash pad. We might be,
What is so I guess what does that schedule look like if we do execute and
Preliminarily, again, very preliminary, and talking with the contractor, our hope was Memorial Day.
Memorial.
oh wow.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Splash pads aren't complex things. It's a slab of concrete with some pipes underneath and a tank in the ground with some fixtures on top. So
Yeah.
it's not like you're building a swimming pool or
Right.
anything like that.
Yeah. It's curing time and whatever, and that's not really that much. So,
All dependent on whether, if we get cold weather now until
right.
May.
Or if the pavilion burns down.
But again,
Stop it. Okay.
so yeah, I'm open. I'm looking for guidance.
What was it? What games did we want to get a dunk? It wasn't a dunk tank, but with that, we couldn't get that.
What was it? Yeah, we were gonna do some balloon.
Oh, yeah, like
We looked at a balloon launcher, we looked at a dunk tank. I don't remember what happened, like that it fell through. Like the
they
company
wouldn't
wouldn't deliver
deliver.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the company wouldn't deliver here.
Wasn't there like a bucket game? Where like you stand underneath the buckets and you got a squirt gun and you got to fill up the other person's thing to trip it. I think there was something with that.
Kind of like
too.
those balloon things where it's
Yeah.
like it's something you people step into and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
against
cool.
each other.
Well, I think it's anything like any of those items I think would be
Right.
fun
Right. I agree. I mean, just something to.
and different than what's been out there because I think it seems like there's food items.
Do we have?
This year was the first time I went.
Do we happen to have posters on all of our parks? Renderings or something of all of the parks that we have? Okay. I just thought maybe something like that in the booth.
Nothing I'll call studio grade or anything like that.
Okay. I was just envisioning like a booth with the parks in it, and then we can show the parks in the town. And maybe a lot of people only know of this park, right? Maybe give an idea of what other options there are out there
Yeah,
and
bigger.
what options are in the other parks.
Yeah, Blue Jay flies under the radar. Like, you know, like sure people drive by that and don't
Right.
realize it's there.
Right. And I don't know if that's feasible or if that's something that can be done.
Sounds like
Aerial view,
take a nice picture, add some verbiage, print it on tag board,
right?
kind of like we did with the splash pad stuff.
Do we know anybody that does like drone photography stuff?
We have a drone. I got to get it working properly.
Okay.
The city has one.
We had extra points on our credit card.
Cool.
There you go.
Got various things. We just had some points left over. We didn't know what to get. I'm like, well, let's get a drone. It's free.
I think the fire
If
department
it's
has
a
one.
bus, so who cares? It was
Right?
just credit card.
Yeah.
points.
But you'd be able to use it more often than you think,
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, especially the fire department. I mean, you can use that and fly over. Oh, the fire is really coming
I
out
don't know
over
if they
here.
really, I don't know if
versus-
they have one or not. I know like Chanhassen, we have one and all street projects are mapped with the drone the prior year to it.
Because
Usually
that would be
LiDAR,
cool to,
Like that's a little more, usually a little more extensive.
And maybe that's what they're
Yeah.
doing. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is, but I mean, just, you know, maybe like an aerial view with some of the parks.
I was gonna say like, so I work for the county, and like when there's one guy who has one who just like on his own time like drives around to all the projects that were done this year and like, flies them, and that's some of the coolest. Like we don't even publish any of that or anything like
There
that,
is-
but like for us to take pictures of, you know, if we do have something like that, projects that we did last year for not the parks department particularly, but the city in general, I think that's a great idea to be able
well, I
to,
mean,
you know,
during
you'll visualize that.
the Rising Festival, have a drone pass over with all the cars and all activities, so people could go on the website and go, oh, look at this. You know, I don't know, stepping into another,
Realm, but yeah, no, I mean, I get what you're
Live
saying.
streaming it.
I don't know, yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Who is licensed? with the city?
Right. And that's the
Anyone or
other
no?
thing
We just
is
haven't, yeah.
I know in Chan, we had to be,
But yeah, if you just
So
took
you
some
don't need-
pictures, then
Right.
it would be a big
If you're
deal.
gonna
But I
be
mean, just to show, have an overview, I mean, it'd be cool to see all the cars.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, oh, you're probably right, but it's not
You
commercial.
can take
it's government.
pictures of it. I don't know about live.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably a level.
Then you get MC and you do all this.
oh,
Did we want to keep it to only during the 9 to 1 or 2, whatever they are? Because you talked about trying to tie in like a night. Is that
I
too much
did.
to try to do?
Did push them to see about a street dance in the evenings. So we'll see what comes of that. I haven't heard much back.
I did bring it up at the ball club meeting the other night to see if what it would take to get the field prepped. And they don't feel that it would be feasible to do it this year.
Mhm.
Not that they're not
Spend a
against
lot of
it,
money.
right? But they're just saying that, you know, maybe in a year
Right.
or so, we can possibly have this field at least playable.
Right.
And be able to possibly set a game up, because they do have a game that day, but it's up at Mare Lutheran. And like we had talked, it'd be nice to get them playing down here.
Yep. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well.
2:00, car show's over. Oh, look, there's a baseball game. Well, let's go
Yeah,
down and watch the
that'd be
baseball game, you know?
And then
and
after
the
that,
baseball
there's a
game.
band.
there's a band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. In a all-day tie-together thing, I think would be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
So,
'Cause, well, the whole grand scheme was down the road, then work on the grandstand for around there too, correct?
correct.
So, do we put that in the billboard or are we not that far yet, probably?
We're not that far yet.
I don't think
I think
we're
you
that
just
far
highlight
along.
if you're gonna do that, parks as existing. Because we don't have any,
Yep,
say it's grandstand, well, what do we put on there?
Right.
yeah, yeah.
We don't have schematics.
Rendering or
renderings
anything like-
or anything like
Yeah.
that, so. Take nice pictures of the parks we got and
That's what I kind of think. Just get some pictures on poster boards and then,
And it's an appropriate year for that, given that, you know, having made large investment in the last 2 years. Well,
Yep.
one as far as they'll probably see, but you know,
Right. But this is
Appropriate.
just to let them, this is not the only option.
yeah.
We have handicap accessible park over here with, we have the basketball court and stuff out at Discovery
Mhm.
and, Meadow
Blue Jay.
Blue Jay and Meadow Creek down there. So we got some,
I see kids down there all the time playing stuff.
right. I just think I think that's something, if it's feasible, that would be easy to do.
I'd tie nicely into an update on our city website highlighting the parks because it's,
Yeah.
needs work.
And you can use those photos or
Yep.
whatever it's work for both places.
Right,
basically. So,
Awesome. Okay.
So we talked about the poster boards, what games, like I said, let's talk what games we want to do some research into.
maybe we could just find a company that will deliver. I think that was what happened, right? We
Mhm.
we narrowed it down. We're like, let's do this, and then there was like only a couple weeks to go, and we couldn't find a replacement after they said no.
Because the bounce houses, the ball club did, right? I think we, or
Who
the
brought-
face painting.
Who brought the pet or like the animal guy out?
The snakes?
Yeah, did he just show up?
I'm not sure who, but the bleachers were set up, so they must have known he was coming,
I think they're gonna have the snake guy again. Vaguely remember.
He was pretty good.
Everybody really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
right?
Were they doing the pedal pole again too, or not?
We haven't done the pedal pole in quite a few years.
I mean, that it was usually
That was,
pretty popular.
typically pretty popular,
And the cop was there then too to help with that. So then the kids got a
right?
gift from the cop. I don't know. I know it was.
I don't know what it costs to do a pedal pole, but I mean, maybe that's something we look at, is doing the pedal pole and maybe have a couple of prizes for the pedal pole.
Yep. Yeah, there's tons of kids that like doing it.
What's a pedal pole?
it's like a little
Little
tractor pull, like a
Mhm.
large
Yeah,
scale.
basically.
You do it with little pedal tractors.
With pedal tractors.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
that's
cute.
cool.
People that had it, they had quite the setup. I mean, it was.
So people bring their own?
Yeah, they had their own. They had their own sled. They had their own.
The company
tractors.
brings the tractors and the sled,
Yep.
and then everything's even, right? Everybody has their everything, and then there's different age groups, obviously.
And they have their
And-
weights and
yeah.
everything, so they can.
Yeah, everybody gets on and they measure, pedal as far as you can, and then they
Yeah.
measure it, and
I mean, the years they had, I mean, it was packed on either side of the.
oh yeah, yeah. I think
Because
I
it's right
remember
in
like
front of the old shed there where the Christmas lighting tree is. That
that's
little
where we
area
used to
flat
ha-
space.
Yeah,
I only remember like doing it when I was real little, and I can't remember. So do they run it like you can go at any time, or is it like these age groups are going right now? It's like a race.
yeah. Well, it's
It was a time period.
organized,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah. So,
So at like
at this
9:30 or 10
right.
o'clock.
at this time,
The
this age,
7-year-olds
and stuff like
or-
that,
okay,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
and if they have the bleachers again, maybe it could be done out in the parking lot where the bleachers are set up for the snake deal. Because there was bleachers
If
set
he's
up
not
there.
doing it, yeah, depending on how far you would need.
Would likely be in the pavilion. 'Cause I vaguely remember saying it'd be nice to get shade.
Okay.
for reptiles.
Okay. I mean,
So I think they could be in the pavilion area, which would free up some more space and
right.
We can look into that.
Yeah, I think that might be cool
More of an
to
event
get that
than a-
back and
Yeah.
get it.
Mhm.
Because I know it used to, like you say, it used to be a big event.
Yeah.
I know that one year they had like 30 some kids.
Yeah, there's tons of kids.
Yeah.
Do you think it's something like you contact somebody and they'll run it?
Yes.
Or-
Yeah.
okay, that's,
There-
that's
there's
even better.
companies-
I was like, or do we have to like?
No, there's companies out there, and like I said, I don't know what they charge, but I think it would be worth investigating or looking into to see what one of those companies charged to come and
Well,
put
ask
that on.
Kyle because Kyle was here when that was going on.
Yep, he was. Yeah,
So he might know if
He
the
might
city did
remember.
it before
Maybe
or
Lauren knows.
it was the Knights that put it on or what,
I don't remember who had done that, but
Is the
Okay.
Lions still interested in like partnering with us with stuff? Like maybe that's something they could sponsor
yes,
to get
they
out
are.
there.
mhm.
I've been having good conversations with Paulette and the Lions Club. And they are looking for opportunities to pair and see what more they can bring.
Seems
Okay.
like something they could say like, Lions presented, you know,
Right.
I'm not saying they would have to, but an
Well,
option.
do they want to buy the picnic tables or something like that?
That's an option. Yeah. Where,
You know,
where
that,
depends where you want to point them.
yeah, because then you can put a lot of little lions on the picnic tables or something like that.
So they've indicated they do want to make a donation towards the picnic tables.
Okay,
They were still working on figuring that out.
okay.
They've got some of their events coming up before they can really finalize that number.
Good. Cool. We all feeling good? Anybody got else? Any other comments on Mayor Rising? I think we got a good start on it. Got some ideas and let's start rolling some ideas
I
with
think
it.
this is good. You know, we don't have to go from 20 miles an hour to 100
Right.
overnight.
Right.
Each year grow it a little more and
Yeah.
a little bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great.
All right, moving on. Discussion on grand opening event for Pavilion and Splash Pad.
Well, this just comes down to what do we want to do for our grand opening event? Do we want to do a soft opening, then a grand opening, or how do we want to structure this? You know, given Memorial Day is kind of that date and then afterward.
I would say the weekend after, because everybody's going to be out of town Memorial Weekend. Or,
Yeah, a lot of people are.
And I'm not worried about I mean, we could do a soft opening with a hard date for an actual grand
Mhm.
opening.
When it, we know
Because I
it's
think if
warmer.
it's sitting there and it's like,
People are gonna want to push the button and
right,
stuff,
they're gonna
like-
want it, right? So
Yeah.
let it be functional and then we can do the grand opening thing and you know, with the giant scissors and the big rip.
And that kind of allows you to, I mean, you can test it.
We're not doing golden shovels
Maybe
or
you
anything.
No,
You know, allows people a chance to complain about something being weird.
right? So,
You do a soft opening.
Yeah, I
And
want
it'll
to
be
do,
warmer.
definitely want to do a soft opening first,
Right.
make sure it works and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Well, obviously you can turn it on, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It's different when kids are slamming buttons.
Right.
We're out there like, oh, gentle press. Yeah, it works.
Or they're like, I couldn't find the trash can, or you know, stuff like that.
right. So I think to set anything on that though, we have to have a better concept or idea of what the contractor's actually thinking.
So regardless of date, we can have an idea of what we want to do.
Correct.
Grand opening.
Right.
I want to start nailing that down. We can nail a date down later once the construction starts and all of that. But the idea is we're gonna have a soft opening first and then, okay, what is that grand opening? What does it look like? Regardless of the date. What are we doing for it?
are we going to have Lions maybe get burgers for us type of thing?
Right.
In the baseball club, have a little,
Or do we invite a food truck to come
Food
in?
truck,
That was what I was wondering, or a food truck or a dessert truck.
or both.
We could do like adventure bowls and sweet wings.
Yep.
Or cookie store and sweet wings.
Right.
That'd be fun. Then you got something, reason for people to stay and
Mhm.
mingle for
Right.
a while, grab some food.
Kids will be using the splash pad.
For the hard opening or the soft opening?
The hard.
The hard, yeah.
Yeah, the actual.
Do we want to have that 3-piece band or the 2-piece band that did the fall or not? I mean, how much money you want to spend on this? Oh,
I don't know how big of an event do we need to make it?
I don't know if you need music for a splash pad opening.
Right?
Yeah, I think if you just, so are you guys envisioning there being on Saturday at 2 p.m. is the grand opening and there'll be a ribbon and
Right.
all that?
Little ribbon cut, and we
Yeah.
can be there, get our, photo taken with
Yeah.
the council.
So I think if you do that, you don't need to do, you know.
I don't think it needs to be anything other than that. Like you said, maybe have food, if we can get a couple food truck, a food and a dessert truck or something.
Yeah, and we could
for the
say,
people,
announce to the community, like, there'll be food and a grand opening at 2 p.m. You're welcome to come and check out the new facilities and
right?
hang out.
We'll be there to answer
Everybody hang out.
questions.
Yeah.
bring your swimsuit.
We'll be there to answer questions and whatnot. So
What food offerings are You had mentioned couple, but I didn't catch them.
Sweet Wings,
Wings.
and then the cookie.
Winks. WIKS. WINKS.
It's that blue bus that parks at Mayor Lutheran.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know who else is around. I don't know. I'm not, I
Or
mean,
Adventure Bowls.
What was the adventure?
Adventure Bowls. They're like nautical bowls.
Oh, yeah.
They're in Watertown.
I know there's an ice cream one somewhere around here, but I don't remember names. I can get names. The church does.
Well, there's the ice cream out of Buffalo.
They had a Buffalo.
Ooh.
Was that the one that was at the farmer's market deal?
Yeah.
They were set up there every week.
Yep. Black trailer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the name,
If
but
I- if
I
I
just know there
remember-
was like an ice cream thing set up there every week.
I can check with church too. I mean, we do a food truck deal every year,
Mhm.
and maybe I know they have ideas of local vendors
There's
they
a
have there.
Mexican one in Waconia that's supposed to be really good. I haven't.
There's one out of Glencoe that is really good,
Yeah.
really good. But name wise, I couldn't tell you who it is. I know they've been at the car show a couple of times, and we've snuck up there to
Yeah.
get dinner from the Mexican
Mm.
truck and go home and eat it. But yeah, and beyond that, I don't envision anything that needs to be over that.
No.
In my mind,
No, I'm just throwing it out there.
right? I like that idea. I don't know. I think
Just wait for
saving that
fall.
for
then.
music in the park.
Yeah, music in the park, fall.
Yeah,
Is this one that we'd want to try to have alcohol at? We have food and people hanging out. And
Nah.
I was gonna say this is kind of more for the kids in my mind,
Yeah.
I think
I'll bring a
this feels
cooler,
more
but-
pure family oriented.
right? I mean, I'm not saying no alcohol. I'm just saying
If we're just out of curiosity,
mom and dad are over here
if we're
getting
not sponsoring it,
piling on, and the kids are over there drowning.
They can walk here and have something in the glass. Anyway,
Right.
so.
I mean, people do, but like, I was just curious
Usually during
what the ordinance
events.
was. Yeah,
During events and what have you, we'll generally allow those.
right.
But just every day. no.
Like if they have a party at the pavilion or something, like no one's gonna come down there. You probably tell them in the release that you're not supposed to, but
So alcohol cannot be in the park unless it's under an event license.
right,
Now, whether or not people go down there,
right,
pull out a flask, well,
Who's there to
Only say
stop?
right.
I can only say what the ordinance says.
Right.
You don't work on the weekends.
I don't work on the weekends.
All right. Any other ideas or comments to add to that?
No, I think that sounds great. I'm really excited. That's
We'll keep refining this, of course, but if this is what it is, just want to make sure we're talking
Right.
about well in advance.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think it's good to get it going, especially seeing as how we don't have a lot of other things pressing right now. You know,
do they have a targeted completion date for the pavilion?
Not yet. So the CMU is, the block structure is up, the exterior block structure is back up. I know mechanical contractors were in there this week,
good.
taking care of some stuff. I'm just seeing other contractors in there, but I don't have an update on completion dates. I'm just happy to see a bunch of contractors.
Right?
yeah, they're back.
Yeah,
on
that's
it.
awesome. Back at it. They've had good weather to work in, so that's
Jeez.
up until this point.
Yeah.
I just forgot to ask the contractor or, the general contractor for an update on scope of work. If you hadn't heard, Janelle took another job. So she's no longer, so it's just Tracy and I in the office, so we're
At
Holding it
least you're not
down.
alone, though.
a little busier.
Yeah, at least it's not just you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those would be some
be-
long days, holy cow.
Right? So, well, good luck to her. You know, hopefully everything goes well. we'll find another right one. So,
Yeah, sorry, just it's been swamps
Mhm.
since then. I just
Mhm.
haven't reached out to the contractor and asked.
perfect. All right. Commissioner reports. I don't know if anybody's got anything to report. We really didn't have anything out there. Yeah. No. Nothing. The only thing, like I said, the only thing I have is the baseball meeting the other night. Asked the question of what it would be to play on this field down here, even if it was for one game, if we get irrigation set up and that kind of stuff. Paul had kind of gotten some rough numbers on St. Bonnie had their pitching mound and their home plate done in professional grade clay. He had kind of gotten a rough number on that. What that was, that really wasn't all that bad. But yeah, he said that there's a lot of other things that field needs as far as, edges with egg lime and grass and those types of things, the trip hazards and whatnot that just, doesn't make it playable at this time.
Yeah.
So,
I
But-
think now with 3 people in Public Works, we have expanded capacity to help take care of things
right.
a bit more on the professional level, whereas before it's just mowing it was good.
And I know these guys are excited to potentially do that.
Yep.
I mean, in talking with all 3 of them, they're,
What about the dugouts?
they're rough. I'm going to be honest. They're rough. I went down and I looked at them this summer, and the one would have to come down. It's pretty bad off. The one on the east side of the field isn't terrible. I think that one's definitely workable. But definitely the one on the south side of the field is not in good shape. So I don't know what we do, how there again, that's future stuff that we got to look at. But
It'd be nice over the course of this year to start tear it down, but what goes in its place.
right,
Start to get ideas
right.
together.
And
We
then some
talked
pricing,
about
so we can plan.
Mhm.
making a dugout so you could have a sitting area above it.
Right. Also,
Above it.
crow's nest type deal. Where do you put an announcer? Where do you put scorekeeper? That kind of stuff. Maybe that's something that, we can look into with a different style dugout.
Mhm.
Temporary.
Concession stand is big enough and fine.
There's been some conversation back and forth on it. I know Nick and I had looked at it for the when we went down for the music in the park, and I think it can be made to be workable. They have this table, this stainless steel counter that's massive, and I don't know if that's necessarily what needs to remain.
Like the best use of the space type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Decent space in there.
It is a decent space, and I just think that it needs to be reworked and reconfigured to fit things in a little better fashion than what they are
Snack
now.
shack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a fridge or anything in there?
No, there's nothing in there as of now. So
Power,
what that would be
power down there.
power down there. Yep, power's down there. Water's down there. Water sewer's all tied
Sink,
into that.
sink there,
Sink.
yeah.
Yep, 3 sinks. It's
Oh,
got the
that's
3
good.
sink tub. It's so like I say, I think it's a decent workable space. It's not the most room in the world, but there again, it's there.
You can do your grilling outside and
And that's
Mhm.
that's what
where they go.
that's what the baseball club does now. So there's just a couple of them I think I need to get down there and convince them if we can rework a couple of things. I think it's more than manageable.
Yeah, I think if you get the right storage, right setup,
Right,
you make it work.
right. Like I say, I think it's more than enough space than what we would need at present time.
Won't be the Ritz, but it'll do the job.
Right,
Mhm.
for sure. For sure. So, yeah. Other than that, I really don't have any other things to report either. So, anything else Nick has or?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
This time of the year is usually slow for parks.
Right.
I'd heard that Mayor Lutheran was having a new athletics coordinator
Oh,
in that position. I haven't heard who the new person is yet. But once the interim was going to let me know, because we usually coordinate with them to make sure for Knights baseball, things like that. So waiting to hear on that.
do we have any updates on the gym? Any usage? Anybody been?
I was here
Coming in.
last Saturday. There's little kids when we first got here, then they left, and then we had the gym to ourselves for a while, and then some older kids came in,
Okay,
played basketball, and we left. So, I mean,
It hasn't been gangbusters, but it's been getting used more,
okay.
which has been
Yeah.
nice.
No pickleball
it was set up.
potentials. It was set up.
It was set up, so we actually used it and
Oh,
used it
cool.
ourselves, and then when we were done, we pushed it off to the side.
Okay.
I think even in the last flyer, we had dates that it was going to be open or available for open house or not open house, open gym. Is that on the website too?
Not yet. So it's been mostly during the day type of stuff at this
Yeah.
point, with Janelle having departed.
Yeah.
on, Nick.
Eventually, that'd be nice to have, a calendar or something like that.
Because that's what the city clerk's duty was,
Yep.
is to manage that calendar, be the contact with pickleball, handle all of that. So now it's like, well, we're going to open gym during the day, and Tracy and I are coordinating on the pickleball end of
Sure.
things. But we'll get some just recreational usage of that. Like
Well, good.
you guys did.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least
An
somebody's
hour and a half or something like that. Pushing around.
cool. That's fun. Yeah.
I'm guessing March will be back full strength with 3 in the office, then we can hit it once again.
Okay.
Really
Is that position posted now or will be soon?
It is posted as of today.
Nice.
See it in the paper whenever it comes out, but then I've got it on the League of Minnesota Cities website. Applications are due February 2nd at noon. February will be interviews, and the goal is second meeting in February to council with final recommendation.
Good deal.
You can't afford to wait. Really give me that. You're counting down the days till the position till it closes.
My calendar really filled up, but it's all right. It's been all right. We're keeping our heads above water. It's like it was before with 2 people in the office. Heads are above water, but you're not making headway on anything. So you're
Right.
just kind of the immediate day-to-day stuff, which, for a couple months, that'll be fine. A lot of the projects we have are either done or they're about to take off or they're going.
Yeah. Hopefully,
Not a lot of-
hopefully we can find somebody. Can find somebody that's got some experience and kind of has a handle on how to get going on some of that. So
I'm expecting to attract existing deputy clerks looking to move up into a full city clerk type of role. And then city clerks perhaps west of here, looking to get closer to the cities.
Right. Right. That's awesome.
I think we're great. Yeah.
Mhm.
Good opportunity for somebody.
Yeah. So, all right. With that, I guess I will be looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Cool.